Hey, hi, Padmaja. Good morning.
Oh, hi. Good morning. Hi, Swaroop.
Oh, yes, Padmaja.
Yeah, hi. Swaroop only, right?
One second, Padmaja. I'll take my headsets. 2 minutes.
No, no, I had, okay, fine. Just I have a simple question. So, yeah, hi. You are able to.
Hello, Padmaja.
Yeah, 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 hi. You are able to
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Thanks for letting me in. Yeah. So, I had just a simple question. Maybe like if I want to talk some other courses, maybe like I can talk to you later, maybe, right? Sometime, maybe.
Mm. Yeah. Tell me.
Okay. No, no, I'm just like trying to. Okay, this one I'm going to attend, but I just thought of asking the API testing specifically. Like, do you have separate API testing? The Postman, Rest Assured, separate. Do you have that
Maybe,
course?
uh, like the other course
And
you are
maybe,
asking,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
the
separate
other
maybe.
course you can check with admin team, actually.
Okay, 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 okay. Whoever, I think like in from
Mm.
the website. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Correct.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning. We'll get started. Meanwhile, others can join. So today is the day one of our class. So we'll start with the Python basics. Okay, so what is Python? How to install the Python? And we'll see a few basic topics about Python. Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Hope my screen is visible. So how many of you know what is Python? Does anyone from Python background or is it completely new to everyone?
For me, it's new.
Okay.
For me, it's new.
Okay. Okay, so I think most of you, Python is new to most of you guys. That's fine. We'll start from the scratch. Okay. So we'll see what is Python, what are the Python features, how to install Python, and how to run the Python. Okay, basic things we will see it over here in today's day one class. So what is a Python? Python is a general purpose, high level and interpreted. It's a programming language. Okay, so we have many programming language, right? So likewise, Python is a programming language. So what is mean by this high level high level and interpreter programming language? So what is mean by high level is like we have like high level and low level programming languages. We have it. Okay, so see something some languages are low level and Python, it is a high level programming language. So what is meant by high level and low level means? So low level means, what does it means is like zeros and ones. That is called so how machine will understand. So machine will understand mostly is on 0 1 like this. It will understand everything. Okay, so but when you write your code in zeros and ones, it will be like tended to human error. So it is very difficult for the human people. Am I right? So because we are not used to that zeros and ones, definitely we will have some it's a very like a tedious job to code everything in zeros and ones. It is very difficult. So for that purpose, they have developed a high level programming language. What is meant by high level means, we will write it in a human readable languages. Okay, it will be written in a human readable languages. So at the back end, it will be converted into the zeros and ones, which will be understood by the machines. So that is the background behind the high level programming language. So what is meant by human readable languages? For example, I wanted to say print something, print welcome to Python or something I wanted to say. How would I say in English? Let's take in English. How would I say? So I'll be saying print welcome to Python. This is my statement. Am I right? So likewise, how you can do it in Python, it's quite simple only. So what we are going to do is like print, open, say we have certain syntaxes needs to be followed. It's quite simple only. So what we will do, print welcome to Python. Just open bracket and close bracket within quotes, you have to pass it. This is in English, that is a human readable languages. Same thing we are writing in Python. If you see here, both are same only. Well, only difference is we are just following with this simple syntaxes we are following. So this is called high level programming language. Any doubts till now? Okay. Okay, I'll move on to the next. So it is an interpreted programming language. I'll tell you what is the interpreter programming language at the next slide. Okay, so it was developed by Guido van Rossum in the National Research Institute. Okay, so Python, it is a most widely used programming languages. Okay, so we are using for GUI based web programming, data analysis. So in most of the fields, we are using the Python. So it's a very popular in terms of it's a most trending languages, I would say. So in most of the areas, we are using Python now. So what are the features of Python? It is very easy to learn and use. So as I mentioned, it is a very easy. So like we say, we just saw, right? Print welcome to the Python. It is a English language. So we just converted into a Python, which is just a simple codes we added it, and it got converted into a Python program. So it's very easy to learn, and also it is very easy to use. It's a highly, it is a human friendly on it. And Python is an interpreted languages. Okay, so what is mean by interpreted languages means, for example, I have 5 pieces of like, let's as of now we will take this print statement only. Okay, so I'm just saying good morning. Okay, so print I would say P. So these 3 piece of lines, I have written it. Okay. What Python will do is like, it will read line by line and then it will convert it. Okay. So first it will go through this print statement, that is line number 7. And then if some error is there, it will stop there itself. It will not go to the next piece of line. Okay. So it is very easy for debugging purpose. So what is mean by debugging is like to identify the error in which line it is coming. So since it is a line by line, it is reading, it is very easy to understand, very easy to debug where the issue is starting. So that is called debugging. Okay, so that is called debugging. So the Python, it is an interpreted language. Okay, and third one, it is a cross-platform language. So what is meant by cross-platform language is like, you can run the Python across all the different platforms, that is Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS. So wherever you want, you will be able to run your Python program. So that is why Python, it is a portable language, where we call this as portable language or class platform language. Okay. Other, it is like a free and open source. You can just go ahead and download it from the Python official website, and it will so it is like a free and open it is, and it is very easy to install, and we can use it. Okay, so and Python is an object oriented languages. So again, this is a very big concept, what is meant by object oriented classes, but don't worry, we will cover it up in the upcoming classes. But what is like a object in a high level, what is meant by object oriented classes is like we have something called classes. So what a class, it is like classes and objects. Imagine your code is organized using the classes and object. I will detail you cover what is meant by object oriented classes in the upcoming class. We will see what was that. Okay. And also graphical user interfaces can be developed using Python, and also we can easily integrate it with the other languages, C, C++, Java, those things and all, we will be easily integrated with the Python. So these are the key features of the Python programming. Okay, I'll take a pause here. Let me know if you have any doubt. Okay, I'll move to the next. So what, in which are the areas we will be using the Python languages? Okay, so Python languages currently we are like in many areas we are using it. So these are the top tiers. Okay, so we are using in machine learning and artificial intelligence. We are using in desktop GUIs, web scraping. We are using it. Data science and visualization, we are using it for software development and web development. These are the areas where the mostly the Python applications are using it. Okay, so next, how to download the Python. So this is the official website of the Python. Okay, so we can if we go here, if we see here download, so here you'll be able to see it for download for Windows. Okay, so here you have to just click on this Python install manager. It will allow you to install it. I'll ping you this official website in this chat. Okay, kindly go ahead and download and install it. Okay, so I'll tell you how to install it and all. So here just click on this Python install manager. This will download it. Okay, so I have the screenshot as well. If you see here, once you download it, you will be able to see this page. Okay, so you just double click on the downloaded file, that is called exe file. Okay, whatever the latest version, it will get downloaded. This page will come here. What you have to do is like you have to select this install now. That is the first option. You will be able to see it, right? Just click on this first option, that is install now. And here if you see here, there are two check boxes. Okay, select that checkbox. The second checkbox is you need to add it. Add Python 3.8 to path. Okay, this will allow you to run your scripts. Okay, so click on install now and click on this checkbox, which is add Python to the path. It is very easy to install. You have to just do these two things alone. Any doubts in installing Python? After that, once you added it, this is the screenshot. Sorry, this is the page you will be getting it. Setup in progress and setup was successful.
Hello, you are checking the checkboxes for the path, right? It is stored in the environment variables.
Not in the environmental variable. Environmental variable, you have to select it. Okay, so it will allow you the path, means in your system you have that path, right? That path it will get selected.
Okay.
Okay. Since I have installed already, I'm not going to install it again. Okay, so that's why I'm showing it as a screenshot. You guys can go ahead and download and install it. Okay, so it will be very easy for you guys. Okay, so if you have any doubts, let me know. Tomorrow's class we will go through it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now, so once that is installed, what you can do is you have this. We will not use IDE. I'll show you it in command prompt itself. Later part, I'll tell you how to download and install IDEs and all. Okay, so no problem. So you have the command prompt. Okay, so just type CMD. So how to check whether the Python has been installed or not? It's very simple. Just type Python space -- version. Okay, If you do it, it will give you the what is the version currently it has been installed in your machine. Okay, so that is how you will be testing. You can, okay, so the Python version has been successfully installed in my machine. Okay, so now let's say I wanted to execute a few things. So I can do it from command prompt itself. Okay, I will tell you how to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is like here you type Python. Okay, so it will go inside. Okay, if you have like a 3.13 version money, that is fine. That is okay. That is the latest version, but in my machine, I did not get updated. That is fine. If you have the latest version, that is fine on Lemony. Okay, no issues. Okay, so now if we wanted to like we will see how to run here. Okay, so what you can do is, let's see, we saw this print statement, right? So this is how the print statement, so the print, the P should be everything, it should be in small letter. So this print and all, it is like a default commands in the Python programming language. Okay, so you don't have to tell Python this is a so this is all default one. Only thing you're going to pass it here is this, like the welcome to Python. Okay, I will print and show you here. Print, open bracket, within quotes, I am saying welcome to Python. Close bracket, sorry, I'm closing the quote and closing the bracket. I have to type it here, and I'm just pressing enter. What it says, it is just printing welcome to Python. So it's very easy. So this is how this is a very like a basic programming we are doing it. I'm just saying print welcome to Python. So it's just printing welcome to Python. After that, you wanted to print like a hello world. You can do not only single quote, you can pass it with double quote as well. That is also acceptable. So if you see here, welcome world, okay, hello world, sorry. So it is also printing. Any doubts till now? Okay. So today class, it will be very slow only because it's a very basic thing. So it will be slow only. Any doubts?
Abigail, can we give multiple lines in one quote?
Okay. You want to know multi-line comments?
Yeah, multi-line in single bracket.
Yes, you'll be able to. Okay. Welcome to Python. We have to give /n. Okay, sorry, not. You mean multiple line of piece of code, right? Yes, you will be able to give it in a single thing. Okay, I'll show you on big statement. What I can. Thanks for joining the class. Today is day 1 and today is Tuesday. So if you see here, it is printing.
Okay, and if we need to provide these line in the, for say, thanks for joining the class, and the next should be in the next line. So we need to put in the print format differently.
Okay, if you want it, you have to put the /n. I'll show it in the thing. So you have to type it in the /n. It is like a new line that is called yeah. Okay. Any other doubts? Okay. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, so we'll see simple items today. Okay, so what and all we have it, I'll show you here. So we have like okay, we saw this print function, right? So that's now we saw it. Okay, so Python, it is a case sensitivity. Okay, so what is mean by case sensitivity is like I already said, right? This print, it is a built-in function of the Python. Okay, so everything it should be in the lowercase. Okay, so for example, here if you see here print hello, this is correct. But if we give this P in capital, this will throw the error. Okay, so it should be in print. If you give everything it is in capital, that is wrong. Okay, I will show you here. For example, we saw this print welcome to the Python. Okay, now if I am typing P as capital, everything in the small, and I am saying hello. Okay, if we see here, it is saying name error, name print is not defined. So Python, it is a case sensitivity. Okay, so if I type everything in the capital print, okay, open bracket, within the quotes, I am saying welcome. This is also throw the error. Okay, so it should be in this proper format. Okay, print welcome. If we type everything in the smaller case, this will work. So this is called case sensitivity. Python, it is a case sensitivity. Okay. Okay. Now, what next is like indentation. What is mean by indentation? It is like, so if you somebody might have used Java programming and all. So we will use brackets to identify the next piece of code. Okay. So, but here everything it is like a indentation. Indentation means the spaces. That the spaces is called indentation. Okay. So, for example, I'll show you in a notepad, so it will be easy for you guys. Okay, if you see here, this is a if condition I am giving it. Okay, don't we will see it in the detail, but I wanted to show you what is the indentation part over here. Okay, so if you see here, this is a if condition. If true colon, what I'm doing, there is a space over here. See here, space. Here also there is a space. This mostly indentation, it is like 4 spaces in space bar 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll keep it here. See here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the industry standard, or you can keep it like this as well. That is one tab. One tab also, if you press it, this will be in 4 spaces. Either you can give 4 spaces, okay, or one tab. This is the most correct one. Okay, we will be using it. Okay, so if suppose you don't follow the indentation, Python will throw the error. Okay, so we will see that as well over here. Okay. Once again. Okay, so now we will see over here. I'm just going to use the same piece of code. Okay, so what will happen? See here, it is printing hello, welcome. Okay, now if I'm trying to print without the indentation, we will try to print it without the indentation. If true, print hello, welcome. Okay, so I'm printing, see here, what it is saying, indentation error, expected a intended block. So in Python, everything is separated by the indentation, that is the space. Any doubts?
Hi. So I have one question. So I
Mhm.
think like if it is indentation specific, there might be a chance that we need to copy the Python code from somewhere. We are copying it to a text file and then copying it back to the IDE. So is there any method to preserve this indentation while we do the copy, or it is always manual? Like if there is any indentation loss while copying? That's my question.
That like there is no. Okay.
Hello?
Abigail, you are
Sorry.
not audible.
Yeah, we couldn't hear.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. No, Shweta, you have to do it manually only, Shweta.
Okay.
Why can't we do Control A and Control I? Mostly, I think Control I will help you in having the indentation, but still we need to check.
Yes, correct. Still we need to check on that whether it is in proper indentation or not, Usma.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the next. Okay, till now I hope it is clear now. Okay, now, okay, where is the document? Here we saw the indentation. Okay, now we will see comments. Okay, so what is meant by comments is like, okay, so you have written some piece of code. Okay, like consider 10-15 lines or 30-40 lines. So you wanted to know, suppose I am writing some piece of code and my teammate is he or she is trying to see what I have written it. By seeing the code, it will be quite difficult to understand what I have written it. Okay, so what I will going to do is like I will write something about that piece of code. Okay, so this piece of code will retrieve the data from the database. So and I'm comparing it with the UI, something I'm writing it. So it is like a explanation. Okay, so that is called comments. Usually comments will not be executed by the Python programming. Okay, so I will show you an example. Okay, let's use the same thing. Okay, so for example, so how to do the comments? Okay, so for example, this is a comment. Yeah, or else I will write this is code used for printing. This is my comment. Okay, so if I wanted to convert this into a comment, okay, what I'm going to do is just press asterisk symbol. Okay, so this is called single line comment. Okay, and after that I am typing print. Okay, welcome to Python. So what Python will do is, here it will not execute this piece of line. It will usually ignore it. It will just print this line number 3 print statement alone. It will be getting printed. This is the purpose of comments. It's just an explanation of what you are doing it. Whatever you want, you can add it, and Python will not be able to it will not execute it. I will run and show you here. Okay, so here if you see here, see what is happening. This this is not printing, or this is not throwing any error for this piece of line. This code is used to printing. This doesn't do anything. What it does is it's just print the statement whatever I gave it here. Line number 2 alone, it got printed. So this is called comments. Okay, so this is a single line comment. Likewise, you have multi-line comments as well. So how to do the multi-line comments is, it is like a very simple thing. Okay, using the triple quote. So if you have 1, 2, 3 here, if you see here, this is called triple quote. Okay, so I'll show you here how to do that. Or I can, one second guys. Okay, hope my screen is visible. Okay, so here we will see, I'll show it in IDE now. So we saw this single line comments on us, right? So what I'm going to do, asterisk, this is single line comment. Okay, what I'm doing, print welcome to Python. Okay, this is a single line comment. Now, if I try to execute this, okay, so what I will do, Python test / demo / playwright / login.py file. What it will, it is printing it over here. That is welcome to Python. It is printing it. Okay. Now, if I wanted to have the multi-line comments, what it does is like you have to just say triple quote. Within triple quotes, if you press enter, and if I say this is the, I'll say Python is the high level programming language. Is user friendly. Okay, whatever you are typing it here, you can type it over here. Okay, so it is like this is sample program. Okay, and after this piece of line, I am saying just print multi-line comment. Okay, so what it will happen is like here, it will print this line number 2 and line number 10, it will just print it. Okay, because these are the from line number 4 to 8, this is a multi-line command. This is a single line command. Now I'll execute and show you. If you see here, we got these welcome to program and multi-line command, because these are the commands it will not get executed. Okay, so what is the shortcut? Okay, what is the shortcut for doing it is like if you wanted to convert it into the command. So for example, I want everything to be commented out. Okay, so I just select it, control and backslash. If you give it, everything will be commented out. If you want to uncomment it, control again backslash, it will uncomment it out. Okay, so in Mac OS, it is also same thing on the shortcut. In Windows, this is the same thing. Any doubts till now regarding comments? Okay, okay, I'll move to the next. So what is indentation? What is case sensitivity? Okay, now we will see what is variable. Okay, so variable is a name which is used to store data or the value in a memory. Okay, so it's consider it like a variable. It is like a bucket. Okay, so whatever you put it inside the bucket, it will just hold the value. Okay, so it will store the object. For example, if you throw a ball or if you throw a knife, whatever it is, it will store it inside that bucket. So same thing, it is like a variable. It is a name. It's just, it is used to store the data or the value in the memory. Okay, so for example, I'm defining a variable as name. I'm storing it as a test. Okay, so test is a string. Okay, so it means a character. So whatever you are parsing it, it should be within the codes. But for numbers or decimals, you don't have to pass it within the codes. We will see the data types in the next class. Okay, but as of now, consider the string should be passed within the codes, and these numbers and all, you don't have to parse it this thing. Okay, so Python will automatically decide the data type. You don't have to declare any data type. That is, this is a string, this is an integer, this is a decimal. You don't have to say anything. Okay, so that is called variable. So I will show you now one variable. We will define it. Okay, name equal to, I am saying Abigail. Okay, so now if I wanted to print the name, you can just say print. I'm just saying name. Okay, so what now? Let's see what will happen here. If you see here, it is printing it. So this is it, it will just hold whatever value you are passing it, it will hold it. Okay, so if I'm saying age equal to 25, I wanted to print that age, it will get, we can do that as well. Age 25. If you want print both, we can do that as well. Okay, so name and age, I'm just printing it. Abigail and 25, I'm just printing it. Okay, so this is called variable. Okay, so we have certain naming rules for the defining the variable. It must start with the letter, that is A to Z, or that is in lowercase or the uppercase. You have to start it, or with the underscore. If you see here, this is the right format, name or underscore age. This is also valid. It cannot start with the numbers, cannot use keywords. What is mean by the keywords is like Python will have the default built-in keywords and all. You cannot have a variable with those keywords name and all. See here, these are all invalid. Okay, if you see here, to name, class, these are all called invalid one. Okay, so let's type this. Okay, we will try. So this class is a built-in keyword. So you cannot use this as a variable. Okay, we will show that. We'll try to print it here. I'm saying to H. Here itself, intelligence is saying end of statement. It is saying it is a wrong. So you cannot use it like this. Okay, so that if you try to print it also, it will throw some error. See here. It says expected something. It means it is not able to identify this is a variable. So you should not start it with the numbers. Okay. If you start it with underscore, that is fine. Okay. So I will start with underscore now. See here, underscore age, that is acceptable. So Python will understand, okay, this is a variable. Okay. Now we will try to print this age with the same thing. See, 25 it is printing, but you cannot start with the thing. So other thing also you can do is like, for example, Abhi underscore age. This is also acceptable. Okay. So if I'm saying Abhi underscore age, this is also understandable. Okay. So if we see here, it will print it. Okay. So either you can start with the underscore, or you can have it either in a complete lowercase or uppercase, or if in between underscore, this is also acceptable. Is it clear? Okay. So now, so Python, it is a case sensitivity. Okay. So it means, so as I mentioned earlier, it is a case sensitive. It is, so for example, I will say for this same age itself, okay, I am defining age equal to 20 and capital thing I'm saying age equal to, or you can keep it like this as well. Okay, equal to 30. What it will happen is like Python will understand both as different only. Okay, it will not consider both are same actually. Okay, that is called case sensitivity. It means, okay, so if you try to print this age, so according to human thing, both are age only, but here it is a capital one, this is a lowercase one. Okay, if you try to print this age, what it will happen is like 20 only it will get print you. See here, 20 only it is printing, because it will consider this age as a another variable only, even though it is the same name. If it is a different this is a capital, sorry, the first letter is starting with the uppercase, so it will consider it differently only. So that is called Python is dynamically typed variable way. Like it is dynamically typed means this is the meaning. So age smaller case, and if you mixed it, the uppercase and lowercase, these Python will consider it as a different variables only. Okay, and variable values, it can be changed anytime. Okay, so for example, I am saying, okay, let's take this Abhi age. You said it, we have declared it as 25. Am I right? If I wanted to convert this into again, I wanted to print it like convert it into a string. Okay, I'll be able to do it. Okay, I'm just saying Abhi age equal to main. Now, if I type to print it, it will print it. It will allow you. See here, it is main. If you want this to convert it into float value, that is 2.6, I'm just printing. Typing it, it will allow you to do that as well. So whatever value you wanted, you can change it. You wanted to update, it will update it. Python will automatically deduct its database, data type, and then it will try to print the value. Is that clear?
Is there any typecasting? Is there? Because if you get any element, right, so we'll get in
yes,
string format.
typecasting in Python, it is there actually. You can convert the data type as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so and if you see in Java and all, we might like using this semicolon, those things and all, we will be using it. But in Python, you don't have those semicolon concepts. Nothing is there. Okay, you just have to just say print this age. That's all. Anything? Any other doubts? Okay.
One question. So, this indentation is only for the curly braces or any blocks, is it? Like otherwise, we don't have to take care
Yes,
of that.
correct, Deepa. Yes. Wherever in Java we will be using the curly braces, right? Block of
Right.
code, okay, that will be using it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll give you the link where you can download the PyCharm. You can just go ahead and PyCharm download. So what you can use VS Code as well, but PyCharm will give you the intelligence where it will be easy for debugging purpose and all. I'm pinging you the link over here. So you can just go ahead and download the ID browser, that is PyCharm. So it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, since this
Is
is
there
the
any
day one.
difference between the different IDs like Visual Studio
No,
Code and
Shivashankar, it is like you can use whatever it is comfortable for you. There is no differences and all. Both will be similar only. But PyCharm, it is like quite, I feel it's a quite user friendly. It's up to you guys. Whichever you want, you can use it.
Okay, because of my organization will look into the Visual Studio Code. For the
Then you
PyCharm.
can use that Visual Studio, Shivashankar. No problem at all.
Will you be giving us like exercises to do it at home?
Yes, Mani, I'll be giving it. Yeah. Since it is a day one, I didn't give anything, but I will send after this class for this print statement and all, I'll give you to it. Okay, so usually we have 1 hour of class, that is 7:30 to 8:30, but sorry, Madhusudan, I'll complete it. Okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Hello? Madhusudan? You have raised your hand. You're not audible. Are you talking? No, Madhusudan, I'm not able to hear you. You can type your queries in the chat as well. Okay. So yes, guys. So usually we'll have the class every day, 7:30 to 8:30. Since this is the day one class, I don't want to dump everything today itself. So we will stop it here. Any query clarification, I can we can go through it, or else we can wind up the class. Will you use PyCharm as ID? Yes, I'm using PyCharm as ID only, Madhusudan. Any other doubts?
So how are we going to get these assignments? Like any account? How do we get it through WhatsApp or what?
We have a shared path where we will upload all the handwritten notes, this PY file, whichever I'm using it in the class. Assignments, I will upload it over there, and also I will share it. The WhatsApp, I'll share the assignments part.
And
I'll
how do
share
we
it in the
access that?
access part. We will give you once you have done the payment and all. We will give you the
Oh, okay.
access to the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but Maja, so my name is Abigail. I'm your trainer for this course. So Swarab is the admin team login. So I have just logged in with their name.
Yeah, thank you. I was like misunderstood the name initially. Sorry. Yeah, thanks.
No problem, no problem. And Gajendra, you have asked all recording sessions, we will be getting it. Yes, Gajendra, we will be getting all the recordings. So after the class, by around 11 o'clock, admin team will upload the recordings and they will post the recording link in the WhatsApp channel. That is how they will do it. Even the yesterday's demo session, they posted the recordings, right? Same way, every day they will post the recording so that you can go through the recordings. And if you have any doubts, we can discuss during our class hours.
Is it on the shared drive or is it on the Google Drive something?
Yes. Yeah.
So these recordings only will be available on WhatsApp or in the SharePod as well?
No, it's a SharePoint only. It's not in the WhatsApp. The link will be shared in the WhatsApp.
Yeah. So those links, so those recordings we can share anytime, right? Not like after the course is completed, right?
Yeah, you
There
can
are-
see it. Yeah. And Madhusudan, you have asked if you use VS Code, that will create any difference. I don't see any differences, Madhusudan. It will be similar only. Any other doubts?
Yeah, Abigail, Shweta this side. So
Mm.
my question is around the playwright. So I have read around playwright that it can be used for modern. It should be used for modern applications which are based on Vue or Angular or React. So
Mm.
are there any such applications which we can use during this training where they do not ask for a robot or human validation, so that our automation can progress? Would you be using any such applications during the course of training?
No, Shweta, we are not using any kind of application, but I will give you the demo sets. So we have multiple demo sets. Okay.
Hey, sorry, Abigail, your voice is breaking, like not able to
Okay.
hear you properly.
I think I have some network issue. Is it fine now, Shweta or Usman?
Yes.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah. So what I was saying is like we have like a demo applications. We have a number of demo sites. We will be using that demo sites, Shweta, for our practicing.
Okay. Because many times we do face some challenges while if we are going through the like modern applications or so. Like I cannot say with clarity, but how do we actually handle them
Yes,
when?
yes, I got it. So if you everything, it will be like we are using the demo application, but it's not specific to it is Angular or React JS, but we are using one shopping website. We have that demo site. We are using it, and we will be going through that class. It's not one particular application.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other doubts? Yes, Badmaja. So for API testing, we will be using the Playwright framework only. Gajendra Singh, to answer your question, sorry, we are not going to cover this CAN signals and all. So already we have a very detailed sessions for the other framework. This will not be part of our curriculum as of now, Gajendra Singh.
Have you
Abigail,
shared
one
the
last
course content?
question.
Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, whoever
Okay.
wants to, please go ahead.
Yes, Shweta, go ahead.
Okay. So Abigail, I have also seen, I mean, there is this AI powered test automation, which is a top
Hmm.
these days. Are we going to cover any such thing in this course?
Yes,
Like,
Shweta, we will see how to integrate it with the GitHub Copilot and how to automate that. That is covered in this course, Shweta.
okay, thanks.
Usman, your question, please.
I was asking, like, have you shared the course content on WhatsApp or somewhere?
No, Usman. I'll ask the admin team to share the course content in the WhatsApp group.
Perfect. And yesterday you were saying like we will be using Codex. So we'll be using Codex or Copilot or
We will be
which new
using
feature?
CodeGen, not CodeX. It's a
Oh, sorry,
Playwright
yeah,
key
that's a
feature.
code gen.
That's
Okay.
fine, Usman. Yeah. Yes, but Maja, you have raised your hand.
Yeah. So, Playwright framework means is it like related to the PyTest or which specific kind of framework we are talking about?
Okay, no.
Specific framework.
Okay, we will be using the PyTest as well as the PyTest. It is an automation framework. We will be integrating this Playwright and we will be using it, Badmaja. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. So we will be integrating with PyTest. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Abigail, one last question.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know, like, as we have installed, like, we will install Python, PyCharm, and in future, like, entire this course, what all, like, tools or other things we need to get it configured or installed in a machine? First, I think last time you show us SQL database as well. Do we need to that as well in future in upcoming classes?
No, Mandip, you don't have to do any SQL installation and all. We are just going to connect to the SQL DB alone. Okay, you don't have to install SQL in your machine.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other doubts?
Abigail, after this class, let's say I am having 10 years of experience in testing. So
Mm-hmm.
how much experience I can digest after this class with Python Playwright in my resume?
Definitely you will be able to. It's not like a experience wise you I cannot comment it out, Sailesh, but definitely I can say you will be able to start writing your automation scripts. Okay, so it will be like advanced course only. So from the we are starting with the PyTest and all, so it is like a very advanced one. So definitely you will be able to script it, Sailesh.
Okay.
Any other doubts? Okay.
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Usman. Okay, if nothing else is there, we can wind up the class. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.